What is happening, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live right now. This 10 gamer for tomorrow. Before we have like one for me, definitely subscribe to the channel that tons of y'all know. So far tonight, the slate is not going too well for me. I'll be straight with y'all. I played the Nets and Royce O'Neal looked good, but of course I picked Kyrie over KD, and we know how Kyrie did. It was awful. It was freaking awful. Um, it was just not well. So Paulo Banchero didn't do too well either. But we're here. We bounce back. We move forward. We move on. So sorry about that. But let's just go ahead and kick it off with the 10 gamer. So Kings at Miami. No De'Aaron Fox. So Keegan Murray. May I offer you some Keegan Murray for 6,000 and some Davion Mitchell for 4-2? Yes, please. No De'Aaron Fox. I love Davion Mitchell here. We saw him last year. I mean, he looked good. He looked good last year. I don't mind getting some Malik Monk also. He's gonna should see more minutes. But I love Davion Mitchell here at 4-2. He's like the Tyus Jones for the Grizzlies. Domantas Sabonis is gonna have to run this offense. I like him at 8-4. I like me some Kevin Huerter at 5-5 who can hit a shot. On the Miami side, this should be an easy game for Miami. I like Bam. I think Bam's going to do well. I think Jimmy Butler at 8-8 is too cheap. Tyler Hero did leave the game earlier. But you need to kind of watch and see what's going to happen with him because if he's out, that's going to kind of shake things up for a little bit more of Gabe Vincent at 3-7 for value. Bam Adebayo, good spot for him. I like him at 7-8. Let's go to Boston and Cleveland. On the Boston side, Jason Tatum 10,000, Jaylen Brown 8-3. I'll just take the savings for Jaylen Brown at 8-3. Al Horford, not a bad spot for him at 5-3. This team's just kind of meh, in my opinion. I'm not really getting into too much of this team. It's 10 gamers, so you're going to have to cross some teams off. Cleveland, though, we have Darius Garland questionable. It's going to affect the status of Donovan Mitchell because if he's in, then I'm not going to really be high on Donovan Mitchell at the 9-4 price tag. Jared Allen says, no, thank you. That's going to bump down Caris LeVert also if Darius Garland's in. And then a mixture of Mobley, Love, Team Wade. You never know who's on the bigger game. I'm just kind of crossing him off and saying, let's move on. On Atlanta's side, though, this is not the greatest of matchups for them. Trae Young, 9-9. I just keep falling in love with John Collins at 6-3. The price is just too cheap. I do like me some of John Collins. If Okongwu is out, it's going to bump up Clint Capella at 5-1 to see additional minutes because they're splitting it. I almost said splitting the backfield, but this is not football. So if Okongwu is out, I'm going to get the more Clint Capella at 5-1. That's going to be too cheap a price tag for the guy who's going to play all the minutes. On the Knicks, it's kind of the Jalen Brunson show for me at 6-9. I do like him. Mitchell Robinson 4-9. I'm not falling into that trap with the foul trouble. And then Joyce Reynolds 7-7 is a little bit too cheap in my opinion in this high paced matchup. I do like getting to some of him. And then RJ Barrett 6-3, not really for me. Evan Fournier, we know he's starting, but at 4,000, that's not a play I'm looking at. Charlotte and Chicago on the Charlotte side is still no low ball. We have Scary Terry who's questionable, or doubtful. They don't put doubtful on DraftKings. So Dennis Smith Jr. 6-7. The price tag is slowly increasing. It went from 6-3 to 6,000 now to 6-7. But he's had 2 great games. It's going to be chalk. We know it. But I think it's well warranted. And Gordon Hayward 6-5. I get it. If you want to go to Gordon Hayward, the price tag did increase a little bit. Kind of everybody's very scoring dependent. PJ Washington 5-7. He's seeing good minutes. He's had 2 great games. It's just can he do it again? And he's going to be chalk. And then Plumlee 4-7. No, thank you. But let's talk about the Chicago team. So I also played Vooch, which we know how Vooch did tonight. Awful, straight awful. Yeah. So for the guys and gals who played Nikolai Vucevic tonight, I'm playing him again tomorrow. Am I ready for more pain? Sure. I'm always ready for more pain. It happens. This is DFS. And there's pain everywhere. But at 8,000 in this great matchup, I'll take it. Zach LaVine 7-5 looked good tonight. I think that's too cheap for him. I love this spot for him. I'm gonna kind of bump down to Rosen with Zach LaVine in, and then Io and Alex Caruso. It's just a toss up between the two. I'll lean towards Io, but again, Alex Caruso is kind of hanging in the backfield. And then Detroit and Milwaukee on the Detroit side, this should not be a good game for Detroit. But I'm not really on any of this team. Kate Cunningham, 8-1's too expensive. Jaden Ivey, I don't mind him at 6,000. Bog, score independent. I don't like the matchup for him. I don't like the spot for Isaiah Stewart either against Brolo and Bobby Portis. I'm just not getting into this team a ton. Milwaukee, be careful because this could be a blowout for him. So Giannis at 12-6. That's my issue for paying up for Giannis because this could be a blowout. And then Drew Holiday, 8-2. It's a good matchup for him. And I don't mind the price tag. I do like it. But let's talk about Chris Milton. He finally got recalled from the G League, so the return's coming for Chris Milton. The return is coming. Grayson Allen 4-2, very score independent, but I don't mind him. He's going to get some blowout run also. But I don't depend on blowout run. That's the only thing, is you just don't really need to play that into effect in your lineups. Brolo and Bobby Portis, you can go to either one. Clippers in Houston on the Clippers side, no Kawhi still, and no Robert Covington. So Paul George 9-8. This is a great matchup for him. High pace matchup. I like the spot. I like Reggie Jackson here a little bit. But John Wall is back. So if I want to do like John Wall a little bit more, I'm not playing Norm Powell. Don't get me started on him. Marcus Morris is a little bit expensive. Zubac 6-5, not a great spot for him at that price tag. On the Houston end though, KPJ 7-7. I like the spot for him. I like the spot for Jalen Green too. At 6-5. Deshaun Tate is out. That's interesting. So, more Jabari Smith at 6-1. I do like the spot for him. I do like Singing at 5-9. I like a lot of this team. I think this Houston team can put up good numbers against the Clippers and the Toronto and Spurs. On the Toronto side, VanVleet is questionable. We need to watch status of him because that's going to be effective on if whoever starts. It could be Koloko. I don't trust Koloko though if he does start, but it's Pascal Siakam, 9-5. I like the spot for him. Scotty Barnes 6-8, a little bit cheap in my opinion. OG Anunoby's looked good this season at 5-8. And then I'm not playing Gary Trent, way too score dependent also. I'm not getting to the bigs. But on the Spurs, Kel Johnson is questionable. So if Keldon's out and so is SoCon, we're going to be looking at Trey Jones a little bit more and Josh Richardson a little bit more, 5-8. Jacob Pertl, not a great spot for him. I'm kind of not really on him. We could see Romeo Langford start. We could see Bates Diop start. I'm not on either one. If they do start, it's kind of taking the wait and see approach on the Spurs team. While on the Utah side and Dallas game, Lauri Markkanen 7-6. I like the spot for him. I think he's too cheap. And then Clarkson 6-2. I'm not really getting to him a ton. I'm not getting to Mike Conley. Kelly Olynyk is in a good spot. I mean, we know how the centers are on this Dallas team, especially if they start Dwight Powell, who's awful. Vanderbilt, though, at 5-5 is not a bad price tag for him. But on the Dallas side, you know how it goes. But the Christian Wood news is kind of going to be intriguing because if he's questionable, like I said, we could see more Dwight Powell, which I'm not playing Dwight Powell at 3,000. But Luka, it's going to be Luka's team. Who else is going to put up numbers for this team? So I love Luka as my spin up. On the Memphis and Portland game, on the Memphis side, Desmond Bain is questionable. He's questionable. Steven Adams is questionable. Brandon Clark is questionable. So John Morant, 10-3. I'd much rather just try to find the salary for Luka. Dylan Brooks is a shooting black hole. 5-9. I could see it. I can see it. Aldama, though, is my main guy at 4-6 and Contra at 4-2. I love the two bigs on this team. On the Portland side, Dame time. So Simons 7-6, great price tag for him. I love Nurkic for 7-5. He should be able to have his way. Sharp, if he's starting at 5,000, is a good value also that I'll be looking at. In the last game, Pelicans at LA. Same news. Herbert Jones questionable. Brandon Ingram is out. Zion, he's going to want to put the show in Los Angeles. I like him at 8-7. I like Jovel on the spot. This should be a smash spot for Jovel to get hit to do anything that he wants in the paint. Trey Murphy, though, 5-9. I don't mind it. He's a little bit scoring dependent also. But on Lakers, Anthony Davis is questionable. We need to watch status of Anthony Davis. If he is out, we could see more of Troy Brown at 3-9, which is a value I'll be looking at. LeBron 10-9 is a little bit too cheap in my opinion. If you want to go with a Zion and then a LeBron James run back, I get it. Westbrook off the bench looks good at 6-4, and I'm not getting the rest of this Lakers team. But they're up to the safe for us, though. Thank you for tuning in. It's been great. Safe for us tonight. Have a good one, everybody.